welcome back to the channel. So as you all know, I have been progressing here in Forza Horizon 5, and I did end up stumbling upon something that almost brought me right back to Need for Speed. Before I jump into that though, I do want to mention here that I am going to be leveling up through the game a bit slower. So as you could probably see right here in the Horizon Adventure, I would say it's most likely going to be like, well, yeah, dude, you're probably not going to be flying through the game and stuff. But so far, guys, I've been having a wonderful time progressing in the game. It really is fun. And with that, I was going through the street part of it. I did end up stumbling upon something that brought me right back to Need for Speed. As y'all know, I was playing through old Need for Speed games like Carbon, and when I did see the midnight battles, I was like, yo, this is exactly what I think it is, right? I did end up seeing the first one pop up on my map, and I went, yo, wait a second, is that legitimately going to be a duel and at nighttime? We all do know what game I'm probably going to be referencing here, but it legit brought me right back to Need for Speed Carbon, especially because I basically did just end up playing through that game legit like 3 or so weeks ago. I did see the midnight battles. I'm like, yo, that's going to be dope. Definitely did remind me about like the duels, the nighttime racing and stuff. And I feel like this really did capture me in the game a bit. I was like, yo, they did end up going after something a bit different because I love the duel type of events where it's almost going to be similar to like a pink slip race, which we did have in Midnight Club Los Angeles. You would then end up doing that said race. If you win, you would of course get the car. If you lose, you would end up losing your vehicle. As far as I do know, I don't think you're going to lose your car in the midnight events. It's more of like a duel type of race. You can always restart if you do have to, if you mess up somewhere or something like that. But you'll be able to go after the Mustang in the first one, the Civic, then the Celica Sport, which is going to be a very cool car. The final one is the Murcielago Lamborghini, which don't get me wrong, guys. I do know everybody is probably aware of this. We all do know this game is not going to be new. But the biggest thing for me, though, was the fact that they actually had the nighttime type of races really brought me back to Need for Speed, which I gotta give it credit because they really do capture so many different things in Forza Horizon. Y'all know what I mean? I mean, we're going to have some crazy car builds, right? We got a car list that's legit better than pretty much any game, which I am going to touch on that in a different video, but we're also then going to have crazy builds, all kinds of accolades and challenges to go after. Then they're also going to add in smaller type events like this that are basically going to be a dual type of thing, so where you're going to race that said NPC and get their vehicle. Now, I'm not going to be 100% sure if online is going to have pink slip events or anything like that. Do let me know in the comments below. I'm not that far in. I haven't seen that much stuff about it, so I'm not 100% sure. But the fact that we're actually going to have the duel events, I feel like every racing game can use it. We all do know if you're going to be racing against a really cool car, like for example back on Carbon, you are probably going to want some of those vehicles once you do end up beating that, because then you have a better car, or maybe it's going to be another car in that said category that you didn't have before that you can then go use on stuff. It is going to be the entire sense of progression, which I gotta say, a lot of people are saying Forza Horizon 5 has terrible progression, and the funny part is I even have a separate video planned on going over the progression in Forza once I am going to go through the game a bit farther, trying to complete more stuff, having more things unlocked and all that, which I did want to make a video and talk about it, because a lot of people are like, yo, the progression in Forza is so terrible. Funny part is, as a new player, guys, I'm genuinely impressed with how much stuff there is to do in this game, which I am going to break that down more in that video. But when I was playing through this, going through the entire street racing thing, I went over to Midnight Battles because one popped up. I'm like, yo, we actually have dual races in this game. That's pretty dope. Now, there is only going to be 4 of them, but they're still going to be in the game, so that means you get 4 free vehicles if you do the races. I did end up bringing up my difficulty to expert. I am moving up slowly, probably go to pro soon, and then end up trying unbeatable afterwards, because it does make the races insanely entertaining, and I would say a lot of players might like having a crazy dual type of race on unbeatable. Then it legit might end up feeling like the final race from Need for Speed Carbon in most ways. But that was one of the things I did want to ask everybody though. Do you all think other racing games can benefit from things like this? Now again, I knew people are probably going to come through and go, well, Block, that's the thing, Forza isn't new, bro. I am going to be aware that, yeah, this game is going to be a few years old, but some of these ideas in this game can easily benefit in basically any other racing game. And having a bunch of cool vehicles locked behind something like challenges like this, I feel like is such a great way to do it, because that way players might look through and go, oh wait, there's the Lamborghini SV there. Oh, look, there's that special Civic. Oh, look, there's a Celica. If I do these races, I progress more, I can then unlock them, because if you guys are wondering, if you start street racing, I do know a lot of newer players are probably going to jump in. They might want to get all the cars instantly, but you are going to have to go through street racing a bit. I think it's like 8 races, then 12, and then 16 or something like that. You will progressively basically unlock them, being able to do each midnight race. So it is going to be a cool form of progression. You have to do one, then do some races, get the other one unlocked. And I feel like a lot of games really can benefit from this. And one thing I probably would admit is when people will end up going through the midnight battles, probably going to be their first time playing the game on PlayStation 5. If you did end up playing some of the old Need for Speed games, man, I guarantee you're going to be like, well, wait a second. I see what y'all were doing here. Like, you can tell they definitely captured that or tried to, and I would honestly say it did end up working. I really did like the nighttime driving and stuff like that. It had the objectives everywhere, obviously, like longer races, some were short. Normally, they're probably going to be around 2, maybe 3.5 or so minutes, not insanely long. You're then going to have to battle the other AI racer and stuff like that, and sometimes if you raise the difficulty up, you might end up struggling, or at least depending on which vehicle you do end up running, then yeah, you might be in for a treat there, especially on the Lamborghini one. He definitely was not messing around. One kind of went half off-road and stuff. I was driving an Evo, and I was like, yo, this race is going to be mixed and all that. I think that was with the Celica, which funny part is the last time I drove a Celica was going to be in the first Midnight Battle I did. I've always kind of liked those cars a bit. I remember having the one that was broken back in Grand Theft Auto. So seeing cars like this in a game here like Forza Horizon really is dope. And the fact that you can legitimately build them and use them in something like the battles or different races, have different types of vehicles for different types of things, is so dang dope. And this also kind of made me think about something. Do let me know your guys' thoughts on this in the comments below. Would you also like to see maybe like a special type of dual racing in racing games? Or, you pretty much see them as like a main game mode to where maybe you can go into it weekly, probably do like a special race, maybe gain some cars from it or something like that, and then like it's limited. I don't know. I feel like something like that would be pretty dope. And we can also have the pink slip races on top of it, to where if you do end up losing, you might end up losing that said vehicle or something. I remember back on Midnight Club Los Angeles, I would try to not use some of my better cars if I jumped into some, because I kind of had a feeling if you mess up or something, you lose that vehicle. Yeah, you can get it back, but if you're going to lose it, that might end up being an issue. Do let me know what y'all think about pink slip races in the comments below. I am curious. I do know some people like them, some people also do not, but who knows, maybe having the entire duel thing that is set up here in Forza Horizon 5 is going to be the way to do it. I just wish some of the other racing games would do something similar to what this is. As a first-time Forza player, man, every time I continue to jump on and play this game, it just keeps continuing to impress me. Now, I would say the midnight battles to some people are going to be like, yo, that's kind of dumb, man. You actually enjoy stuff like that, but yeah, I like having little races or different things like that. The dual races at nighttime, depending on where you are so dope to do because of the roads or the way that they do end up setting them up. I feel like things like that really add on to a game and make it even better. So far, guys, I can say right now I'm completely loving Forza Horizon 5, and I am definitely going to be doing a review video when I get farther into it, have more hours played, and I really cannot wait to get to that point, because so far I feel like players would love it if they haven't played this game yet.